You know how sometimes your writing can feel a little clunky, little repetitive? Well, today we're going to fix that. We're diving into a tool that will make your English sound way more sophisticated and natural. We're talking about relative clauses. And by the end of this, you'll be connecting your ideas like you've been doing it your whole life. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at a super common writing problem. Then, I'll show you the elegant solution, relative clauses. After that, we'll get our hands on the core tools you'll need, learn a really cool pro-level move, and finally, we'll see how this all comes together to give you a new writing superpower. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the problem itself. We've all done this, right? You write a bunch of short, simple sentences. And hey, they work. They get the idea across. But they can sound a bit choppy, a little repetitive, maybe even a tiny bit childish. Just look at the difference here. On the left, I have a friend. I share everything with this friend. Totally fine, totally correct. But now, look at the right side. I have a friend with whom I share everything. Wow. It's just so much smoother, right? More efficient. It weaves two ideas into one seamless thought. It just sounds better. So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you make that jump? What's the secret sauce that turns those clunky sentences on the left into the really polished one on the right? Well, it's not magic. It's just a grammar tool that you can totally learn to use. And here is that solution, the hero of our story today, the relative clause. This is the amazing little engine that connects your ideas, adds juicy details, and makes your speaking and writing just sound incredibly fluent. So what is it exactly? Well, think of it like this. It's a mini sentence that you attach to a noun to give us extra info. Instead of starting a whole new sentence just to add one little detail, you can just cleverly tuck it right in. It's all about being smooth and efficient. All right, it's time to open up the toolkit. See, to build these awesome clauses, you need a few key tools. They're called relative pronouns. Each one has a very specific job. And once you know which one to grab, you're pretty much set. We're going to start with the three most common ones, the ones you'll use all the time: who, which, and that. Honestly, once you get the hang of these three, you are well on your way. Let's break it down. Who is for people. Simple as that. Peter Frost, who my father used to work for. See, we're adding info about Peter. Which is for things. The cable to which the printer is connected. Here, we're describing the cable. And then there's that. That is kind of the flexible one. It can work for people or things, and it's a bit more informal. So the rule is easy. Person, thing, or either. Okay, but what if you want to get a little more specific, right? What if you're not just talking about a person, but something that actually belongs to them? Or what if you need to talk about a specific time or a certain place? Well, for that, we've got a few more specialized tools in our kit. And here they are. Whose is all about possession. William, whose wife, see, it connects William to his wife. When is your go-to for time. The year when the youngest was born. It pinpoints that moment. And where, you guessed it, is for places. My family's home, where we've lived. It tells us more about the home. Each one has a really clear, super useful job. Now, let's talk about whom. I know, this one can feel a little intimidating because you mostly see it in formal writing, but the rule is actually pretty simple. You use whom when the person is the object of the action, the one receiving it. So in the example, his girlfriend, whom he neglected. She's the one being neglected, right? So we use whom. It's a bit formal, but it's a great tool to have. Okay, you've got the tools, you're feeling good. Are you ready to level up? Let's talk about a technique that is like the signature move of really sophisticated formal English. So check this out. Instead of saying the person who I spoke to, you can say the person to whom I spoke. All you're doing is taking that little preposition, words like to, for, with, and moving it to the very front of the clause. It instantly makes your sentence sound more structured and, yeah, pretty darn smart. Let's walk through it. It's a simple three-step process. Step 1, you've got your main fact about Peter Jones. Step 2, you've got the extra detail. Notice the key preposition there is for. Now for the pro move. You take that for, pair it up with whom, and stick it right at the beginning of your clause, and boom, you get one single super elegant sentence that says it all. So we've looked at the problem, we've found the solution, we've even learned an advanced move. But what's the big picture here? Why does mastering this one little concept make such a massive difference in your writing? This is the payoff. This is your new superpower. Mastering relative clauses means you can stop writing short, choppy sentences. You can pack them full of interesting details. You make your writing flow beautifully. It's one of the clearest ways to show you have a real command of the English language, and it lets you explain really complex ideas with total clarity. And that's really what I want to leave you with. Don't ever think of grammar as a bunch of boring rules that hold you back. Think of it as a set of tools that gives you power, that gives you options, that gives you precision. Now you have a new tool. So my question to you is, what will you go out and say with it? Thanks for tuning in.